Since Hamilton got robbed of his 8th title,
all of the lapped cars should have been let through and the safety car was brought in too quickly.
And Max Verstappen took the #1 step on the podium.
He picks up his 10th win of the season.
In the F1 showdown last week.
Of all the drama, of all the controversy, of all the magic.
So Lewis Hamilton has officially been knighted. And I can't but help that this knighthood is somewhat of a consolation prize as a detraction from the atrocity that took place.
When we think of misdirection, we think of something as looking off to the side, when actually it's often the things that are right in front of us that are hardest things to see, the things that you look at every day that you're blinded to.
And mask what I would call an example of supremacy.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
So Lewis Hamilton was all set to take his 8th World Championship in a grand finale.
Long, the finale, the title decider, under the lights here in Abu Dhabi. It's
wiping the floor of his main contender, I might add, until this happened.
Nicholas Latifi has crashed, and I think that is at turn 14.
And the miracle that Red Bull were praying for,
dear sweet Jesus, hear me,
came through.
Thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus.
And with some jiggery pokery,
baby. 1, 2, 3, tell her, Margarita. 1, 2, 3. Sarah needs your help.
I think all the cars ahead of you are going to pass Hamilton. Everybody behind you will stay in position.
Under the safety car procedure, Max Verstappen gained a huge advantage and went on to win. Which threw F1 into controversy as all eyes questioned what they'd just witnessed.
I don't care what you think you saw. Now you're going to believe me or your lying eyes.
And since then, Hamilton hasn't said much, if anything at all. And he didn't even attend the FIA party, whatever it's called.
With new FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem warning Lewis Hamilton that he will find no forgiveness from the sports governing body after the British driver failed to show up for the prize-giving gala last Thursday.
And apart from attending the knighthood ceremony, which was a proud moment for him and his mother, it does seem like somewhat of a consolation prize.
Pounds and the bullies and the tankards and all this beautiful, superb star prize
given to mask the fix that denied him of his true prize, and that was his 8th championship.
And his team protested the decision, but that protest goes to the same people who made the decision, so I mean, that was never gonna work. It's like appealing your mom, grounding you to your mom.
And this takes me on to Hamilton's character and composure.
A big congratulations to Max and to his team. I think we did an amazing job.
For not flipping out and calling foul and though I commend him for holding his composure on the world stage, I do kind of have issues with this, yeah? And I'll use this incident of Hamilton as an example of how supremacy works.
As a matter of fact, he's also treated as a black man in the sport of Formula One, and we've seen this.
Because had Hamilton have lost his rag and really expressed his outrage, yeah, on that world stage.
Why'd you do it, Jim? Why? Why? To humiliate me?
Orange.
For what?
The media and anti-Hamilton fans and Max fans would make this obvious fix all about Hamilton being a sore loser and a crybaby, to then direct the focus on Hamilton being in the Black Lives Matter support and criticize his lifestyle and all kind of whataboutery to mask the injustice. And though he was the victim in the farce that took place, again, he'd be accused of having victim mentality and blaming others, and he'd be looked at as the angry black man.
Saying, oh, he's a baby, oh, he doesn't know how to handle this. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You're wrong again. You've been wrong, wrong, wrong.
Even though everyone witnessed the fuckery.
Statement from Mercedes talked about losing faith in the sport.
Yeah, and they have lost faith in the sport. They're bewildered by the decision-making that went on at the end of that race.
So in a way, he kind of has to take it on the chin.
So look, they've been looking for a great white hype for a long time.
Whilst the victor goes on to celebrate. All because the system allowed it. Hence, your systemic, right? And also to add, the fact that the mainstream media are kind of complicit in diminishing, the injustice. The fact that they're out there.
If it was in football parlance, it would be like being 3-0 up and the referee suddenly shouting, next goal wins. I mean, is it done a lot of damage to your sport?
I don't think so, and it's not football. It's very different to football, and
knowing full well that something was clearly afoot.
Anyway, over the past couple of days, some interesting information has come to light in the fact that the team radios, that is conversations between the Formula 1 drivers and their teams back at HQ, has been released, showing that the drivers were just as baffled by the FIA's decision to fix this race as the fans were.
But then the FIA suddenly changed their minds, and then they were allowed to let us past. Then then that's where I'm not so sure. So but I'll just say congrats to both drivers, Lewis and to Max. Of course, Max won, and congrats to that. But in terms of decision, for a turn like that, I'm not so sure.
This, in my opinion, is an example of white supremacy, right? As many will bask in the glory, overlooking the discrepancies.
They have to have the image of a white male knocking a black man down without the system of white supremacy helping them. But they still can't do it. So even if you see on the surface that a white person is knocking this black man down, understand the system of white supremacy is often still in play because they have set up and rigged the fight in many cases.
And admit that a wrong has been done, but will do nothing to correct it or address it.
The white supremacist culture, they look at cheating differently than we look at cheating. This is why we lose to white supremacy so much. This is why they've dominated us. I want black people to understand this. Why did they dominate us so much? Black people instinctively, we look at certain things as instinctively not honorable.
And the problem for me is using the situation in Hamilton as an example from a black person's perspective, these issues need to be addressed because as a black person, we should be able to express our outrage and our anger and our disappointment when we have truly been, let's say, unjustified. We should be able to express this without being labeled as being the angry black person.
But let's go into this before you crucify Lewis Hamilton for doing something that so many other people have done, but you probably ain't said shit about him.
So now, would you blame him if he left F1?
I'm not surprised he feels the way that he does.
Or would you be more complicit in the narrative of saying that somehow Hamilton's a chicken and he's running scared because, Verstappen beat him in the race and Verstappen's better and he can't handle the pressure? You know what I mean? This is what's been going out, or this is what's being spread about now. After it's deemed that he's disappeared for a moment.
Everybody that he followed on social media, at least on his Instagram page. I got it right here. Boop. 0 following. 0. Well,
because there's a saying that goes, once bitten, twice shy. And like I said in my previous video, about, let's say, Red Bull having, let's say, a entanglement with the powers that be in Formula 1. If you're in Hamilton's shoes and you felt that what happened to you, the discrepancy that happened to you will happen to you again. Because the powers that be are still, let's say, buddy with your opposing team. Are you going to would you put yourself through that? Knowing that the chances of you winning, even if you did everything by the book, they'll find anything to undermine you or to snatch that win away from you. Would you put yourself through that? I wouldn't. So, as you know what to do from here, today, this ends my video for today. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.